Supernote is one of those companies that struggles with their identity. They don't really have the hardware conversion to the extent of Onyx, bigme, and ereader do, releasing a grand total of 27 devices in 2023 alone, nor do they necessarily excel at software, seeing as other manufacturers have greater in-depth and more robust features. And in 2 generations, they still have no audio or even a glow light, which sets them light years behind the competition from a device perspective. But what they do have is one of the most robust digital stationery lines in the game. Yes, indeed, there is in fact one thing Supernote excels at, and that is digital stationery. They have set themselves apart from the competition. They have decided we don't have the right kind of layout for a device that makes it feasible for someone to purchase. Because if you're looking for a distraction-free device, you buy something like a Fujitsu or a Remarkable 2, which in both of them being released in 2019-2020 have sold millions of devices. So you don't buy a Supernote for the unit because it just can't do anything. You buy it for the pens. That's honestly what you would buy these guys for. These guys have amazing pens, but it comes at a caveat. And this is a completely objective view because you can see everything in front of your eyes here. This is 2 of the pens that Supernote offers. One is a push-up standard pen and one is ink. And you can see the boxes are identical and they both say Lamy. They're very lazy with their packaging and they reuse their boxes. For example, this is the brass Heart of Metal. Amazing pen, but it's not made in Germany, even though it says made in Germany. This is the Lamy box that they have for the Lamy pen, so you have to make sure you know that this is not a German-made pen. This is made in China. It is beautifully built. This is a brass, super heavy metal, even though the entire receptor is dedicated to just this little portion here, but they keep things kind of beautifully laid out with their brass body, their brass cap, and this comes in a variety of colors. They even have this really nice samurai gold plated one that we covered earlier on. These are very, very nice pens. I love these pens. They feel great in the hand. They even look like an actual pen because it can be argued that it is an actual pen. It just doesn't have ink. It has digital EMR, which is electromagnetic resonance. These are great pens, but you have to be careful that when you get the box, it says Lamy. This has nothing to do with Lamy. They are collaborated with Lamy, but not this one. They just reuse the same box, which I really wish they would stop doing. That doesn't help their case. This one that has the push-up standard pen is the focus of today. Again, this is not the Lamy edition. Don't get fooled by it, and no, it is not made in Germany. This is the pen we want to check out today. This is really cool because only a handful of manufacturers, Lamy themselves with the Lamy Twin Safari, and one Korean pen manufacturer on eBay, and Pilot, does this. This is a double click, so you can click it in and it pops out, and click it again to retract it. This is amazing. I absolutely love it. It comes in this beautiful off-white cream. It is nicely logoed with the Supernote logo on the back there. It doesn't have a reverse EMR transmitter here, so it doesn't reverse the polarity and delete anything. And we'll show you some writing in a little bit. And it does click in. It has a very nice metal lapel clip. It's lengthed beautifully, but first we have to weigh this and we have to get into how it all works on an actual device. First, an Amazon Scribe pen comes in at 15 grams. Let's put the Heart of Metal on there. 33 grams. That's a heavy big boy. I love this pen. This is such a good pen, but we'll tell you a little bit of a downfall in a second. So this new double push pen is 13 grams. So it's not heavy, but it is very nice. It's got this ergonomic shape. It has the tactile feel of being able to push in and out. It's a very nice touch, and companies as big as Pilot and, as we said, Lamy, they both do this. It's really cool. Now, there is a downside to these pens. Although Supernote has one of the best lines of pens in the industry, you must be concerned with the first line here that says it has a high hardness tip which is only suitable for the screen surface of the Supernote devices. So they've really just shot themselves in the foot with that one quotation there, because what that means is because this is a ceramic tip, it does not work on any other device and it is inadvisable to use on other devices. So they have successfully taken their compatibility from 100% down to 2% because they have no market share in the industry, Supernote, which means that you can't use their pens on other devices because you'd only be able to use this on a Supernote, and not a whole lot of people buy Supernotes compared to other units, and numbers don't lie. But we are going to be testing it very gently on an Onyx Tab Ultra C Pro because this has a very hard screen protector and a very glass layer screen. We're going to make sure we're very light, we don't scratch anything, and we'll give you a good representation as best we can of how it feels to write. Again, as per their directions, we have to respect their decisions. Do not use this on any other device. We are electing to do this out of our own decision. This is not meant to be used on an Onyx. We are doing this, not their decision. That has a good sound to it, and it's very smooth because it is ceramic. And the beauty about Supernote tips is that they have these little canisters here that are made in Japan, Wacom, and they never run out. And if you don't touch the inside metal coil, they'll never malfunction. They last forever. But again, you can't use it on Remarkable or Onyx or Bigme or Goyu or High Read or Fujitsu or King Jim or MobiScribe or anybody. You can't use anything. You can only use it on Supernote devices. So it is the most limiting pen in the industry, essentially because of the tip. Although the EMR technology works across platforms, it is not recommended. You could very easily scratch your screen, especially if you use this on something like a Fujitsu or a Boyu or a MobiScribe, in which case they have plastic screens. You will for sure dent them 100%. You will damage the screen. So do not use it on anything except a Supernote. We have to let people know that. This is an absolutely beautiful pen. It sounds good on the screen. It feels decent, and it's going to come down to whatever screen you use it on. It does feel better on the Supernote. We don't have a Supernote on hand because they've kind of been lacking in the races. We don't really cover them anymore. But we have used the ceramic tips on the gel recovering layer of theirs. It is a very good experience. It's a very kind of grippy and sticky experience, almost like a Stadler. It's a very recommended note-taking experience if you want a good feel. But that is where Supernote kind of begins and ends. We're not poo-pooing on any major brand. I mean, we say it as it is. If we don't tell the truth, you will never trust us, which is why we said, although MobiScribe is a good company in general, the Wave Color is one of the worst devices of the year. In fact, was the worst device of the year. The reality is that they have very lazy packaging. They reuse their packaging. It's technically false advertisement, and the pens can't be used on anything else. It's really a silly approach to being one of the greatest lines of digital stationery in the industry. They have replacement DIY receptors, they have Wacom, they have all the tools to make them an absolute juggernaut, but they don't use any of them. It's just kind of flashy, expensive pens that you can't use on anything else in the industry outside of just a Supernote. We're not trying to bash any particular company. We just want to make sure you know what you're getting, because if you spend $80 USD on a heart of metal pen or 60 something dollars on a push pen, although as good as it is, you won't be able to use it if you have a Boyu or a Fujitsu or anything else. So you have to make sure that your hard-earned money is going where it needs to go. Objectively speaking, however, the pens are the greatest pens in the e-note industry. You can't argue that. They look the best, they feel the best, they're shiny, they have an aesthetic purpose, they're designed flawlessly with high quality materials, they have a wide array of using collaborations with Lamy, their own pen in multiple colors, so many colors of this guy. I believe it comes in 8 or 10 colors alone. They have even special editions like Samurai and Midnight and Rose Gold. It's an absolute great looking experience, but just make sure you know what you're getting into prior to purchasing these. For GoodyReader.com, this is Peter.